What is up, everybody? Spektrades back here, and in this video we're going over this GBPUSD trade that I posted on my story yesterday right here. This was just a heavy sell before news came. This was a quick sell before news came. I had posted this trade on my story and a lot of people was telling me to make a YouTube video of this. Just a quick trade breakdown. So let's hop on the charts and just see how I took this trade. Now that we're back on the charts, we see that our charts is clean and proper. First we have to do our top down analysis and just see what price was showing us, right? So first we see that that price took liquidity from these old highs, a quick liquidity sweep, and then price gave us a formal major break of structure of these old lows. You guys can go on your charts and mark up with me, or after you watch this video you can go in and rewatch this video and just mark up your charts just so you can see it more clearly. So price gave us a liquidity sweep of these old highs and then give us a formal break of structure. And then what we can see, right? And then we grab our fib from the high. I usually use the high right here. And then from this low. I don't really use the wicks. I use the bodies. So first we have to wait for price to come in a premium zone before we sell, right? Because we can't sell in a discount zone. We can't sell down here. So we have to wait for price to come in here, right? So we have to look for a point of interest in our premium zone. So let me remove all of this. So in our premium zone, what we see that price had left this breaker block right here. Boom. This was a 1 hour breaker block. Also aligned with this hidden base. This is the hidden base is a supply and demand zone. This is just a order block that was broken on the lower time frames. So price so this right here was like a heavy, I would say, a heavy point of interest, and it was on the 1 hour, so this was bound to hold. So this was my my higher time frame point of interest. So we go from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. So this was my top of the range, and right here was the bottom of my range. Mark it in red. So now we can go down to the 5 minutes and see what price was showing us. Okay, cool. Now we're on the 5 minutes. Let me go on to 15 minutes instead, just so I can show the Asian range, right? So let me put my Asian range indicator right here. This Asian range indicator is called Range Box by Nephew Sam. This is the settings for it. I have also showed this in the free course down below. Make sure you take that also if you guys haven't. It's a free course where I go over all these concepts to just simplify it for you guys. It's free. Just go and take it. It's like 1 hour long. Just go through it, back test, and you're just gonna get all of this. So this was our Asian range. Price came, boom. We can see, I'm gonna just mark it in gray. Cool. So this was the bottom of my range, and this was our Asian range. So when I was observing this trade, price was around like it was like around 11 p.m. This high wasn't really taken yet, and then around early in the morning, around like 5 or 6 in the morning, I can see that price came in, sweep the liquidity of these Asian highs, boom, but failed to tap into our 1 hour point of interest, right? So price was just came in, sweep the Asian highs, as we can see here, boom. Price came in, sweep our Asian highs, and then price came back down to sweep our Asian lows. So this wasn't a formal break of structure right here. This was just a liquidity sweep. Because this was just a liquidity sweep, I was expecting for price to come in, clear these old highs right here, right? So price was just getting rid of early sellers, right? Because a lot of people knew that price would sell, but they would know like when would price would sell, I would say. So price came in and sweep the old highs. A lot of people were probably hiding their stop losses right here. So I had marked this out as liquidity. If you can see my charts, I have marked this out as liquidity. Boom. Let me show you the previous one. Yeah, I have marked it out as liquidity. Let me get back on my charts now. So now that I have observed that price didn't give us a formal break of structure, I could expect that price to come up and clear these old highs and then tap into our 1 hour point of interest. So price came, cleared our old highs from all the early sellers that were hiding their stop losses up here. Boom. And then price tapped into our 1 hour point of interest. Now we can scale down to the 5 minutes to see what I had noticed. Now that we are inside of our 1 hour point of interest, what I could notice was that price had left this old high right here. This was just a liquidity high. As you can see, there was no volume in the body, right? This was just a wick, right? There was no formal clean, I would say. This wasn't no formal candlestick, I would say, right? This was just a wick. So price came, cleared these old highs, and then give us a break of structure. Boom. So after this break of structure right here, what I had noticed, this was a type of RTO entry. This was what we call a return to order block entry. This is just a quick schematic of it. So this is just a quick schematic of it. Price will come and just sweep the old high, give us a break of structure, and come back and use the order block that did the break of structure to then come and push price lower. So this was exactly what happened. Price gave us a liquidity sweep, give us a formal break of structure, boom, and then the order block that did the break of structure, price will come back up, use it as our point of interest. So this was my entry. This was my first entry. Stop loss at the high to be safe. Right at the high, boom. And where we're targeting old lows right here. I had another take profit way down here. I'm gonna show you guys where soon. So this was my first take profit. And then for my second entry, because I had multiple entries in this trade, what I had noticed was price came and gave us a break of structure of these old lows. Boom. Price came and gave us a break of structure of these old lows, and then just like the same thing, right? What order block did the break of structure of these old lows? Where we see that price left this order block right here, this 5 minutes bearish engulfing order block. So this was my second entry. Clean. I'm just gonna extend it. A lot of people might be scared in this trade right here, right? They might be scared at price. Let me just put this stop loss at the high. This was where my stop loss is at. So after this break of structure, I was more confident in this trade, right? After this right here, this was like a coach, I would say, a change of character. But a change of character is a form of break of structure, right? It's just like a market structure shift. Market was going up in an uptrend, but now price to liquidity and then break of structure. Now we're going down. So this is what we call a change of character. I just put break of structure here to just make it more simple. So price left us this order block right here, but I was more confident in this order block right here because of this break of structure. This was like a major break of structure. So price came with just pushing price higher. A lot of people might be scared of these big bullish candlesticks, but because price already gave us a formal strong break of structure right here, we can know that price will respect our bearish point of interest, right? So price came back up, tap into our 5 minute order block. So this was where I placed my second entry. And then we're targeting old lows. And then I had to realize that price right here failed to give me a strong break of structure. Another strong break of structure right here. Boom. As you can see, this low right here was just used to wick down and tap into this 5 minute order block. Because price failed to give me a formal break of structure, I was expecting for price to come in and retest this order block. So price came back up and retested. I was still confident in my trade. And where we're targeting old lows. Boom. So price came back down after we retested the 5 minute order block the second time. Price came back down to clear our weak lows. Now for my final take profit, let's go on the daily. Okay, cool. As we can see on the daily, we had this daily open order block right here. The higher time frame point of interest will always hold more than the lower time frame point of interest, right? So for me, I was targeting this daily open right here because price was just giving us these old lows right here. This was like relatively equal lows. So I was expecting for price to come in, purge through them. And then 10 a.m. news came. Let me go on the 1 minute, on the 5 minutes again. Cool. Let me bring this down. So this was the daily open. So this was my final TP. EP. Okay, cool. No. TP. Put it to the top. So this was my final take profit. And then 10 a.m. news came, right? So that is why I have posted on my story. It's good to know how to enter into a trade, right? The basics on how to enter into a trade and how to scale out of a trade, right? Because a lot of people might be getting greedy. They see price purging lower and lower and lower like this. They think that price will just keep pushing down, right? But you have to zoom out, right? You have to zoom out and look at the higher time frame point of interest before you scale back in. So you can see what the higher time frame is showing you, because the higher time frame is always stronger than the lower time frames. So I was targeting the old relative equal lows and the daily open. So as we can see, 10 a.m. news came, wick inside of the daily order block, and then started pushing price higher. If I was still holding my trade, this would have been a loss for me, right? Because we see that price came all the way back to my entry to clear me out. So I'm glad I was able to be aware. You always got to be aware of the higher time frames, and then you scale back down to the lower time frames. So this was just the trade right here. Just a simple recap. Price came and just faked out of our Asian range and failed to give us a solid break of structure, but was just giving us a liquidity sweep of these old lows. And then price came back up to clear these old highs because it didn't really give us a formal break of structure down here. And then on the 5 minutes, we tapped in right here in our 1 hour point of interest. We waited for the same pattern to be shown again. This was our RTO entry. And then price came back up, give us a formal break of structure, and then came back up to use this 5-minute order block. This was our second entry. And this was our second entry. And then we re-entered right here for a second position. And where we're targeting the daily open. The daily open of this order block, because we had relatively equal lows right here. So we could expect for price to come and clear them out, and then tap into our daily open before pushing price higher, because we had news yesterday at 10 a.m. Boom. 10 a.m. news came, price wicked inside, and then started pushing price higher. So this was the trade right here. This is a simple, quick trade. I hope you guys go on your charts and remark up this and just see it for yourself and just understand the concepts. I also created a free course that explains all these concepts simply. So make sure you guys watch it, take that free course and just go over it, go on your charts and just back test hard and just get these concepts right. So this is it. Spektrades out.